Great things are they that you have done, O Lord my God. How great your wonders and your plans for us. There is none who can be compared with you. Oh, that I could make them known and tell them, but they are more than I can count. There are more blessings of God than we can count. His great plans are greater than we can fathom or understand. His wonders far beyond us. Oh, if we could make them known. Oh, if we could simply say how we have been blessed, cared for, protected, and saved. But the more we consider it, the harder it is to come up with an exhaustive list, for those blessings are too numerous to count. Now, I have a story, but frankly, I think we all do. That's my suspicion, at least. It's my expectation, is that we've all got a story. And it's a story that can be very, very different in its details or in its circumstances, but the basic point will remain the same from person to person and from life to life. Now, my story starts years and years and years ago. And I like to tell stories, I've told a lot of them, but until I told it at 9 o'clock this morning, I'm not sure I've told anybody here. I mean, 7 years, and I don't think I've told this story, but I think it's worth it. So this starts a long time ago. I am probably less than 10 years old. That's my guess. Maybe 8, 9. That detail I don't remember very well. But I do remember some of the details very well. At about that age, for a couple 3-year stretch, my dad and I used to go fishing almost every Saturday morning. And this was one of those, like, wake up while it's still dark and go out fishing kind of things. So we're up at, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and we're out for a couple hours. And this is in Orlando, and there are these little lakes and ponds everywhere. I mean, lakes and ponds more than lake land. It seemed like every neighborhood had something, bigger or smaller, whatever. And then back in the day, you were talking about a time where before all of the housing developments and gated communities and everything else, you could get in a lot of these lakes. And just, go, spend a couple hours and drown some worms or whatever. And so we had a little john boat, and one time we had a little canoe, and so he would get me up way too early on Saturday mornings, and we would go out. Still dark. Very, very simple stuff. I mean, we were not, these really fancy fishermen. We had no, technical equipment or anything. As a matter of fact, we liked to use cane poles. And we would either go get a, little canister of worms early in the morning at the tackle shop, or shiners. We like to shine, because we're fishing for maybe catfish at the bottom or bass along the edge there. And so again, I am, maybe 8, maybe 9 years old, somewhere around there. And there is a particular little pond, not big at all, but it was fairly close to the house. Now, we had a route to get to church. A route, because we figured it out. And that was the one we took every single time. To the point where, even now, I'm pretty well convinced I could go to my mom's house, close my eyes, crank up my car, and autopilot would kick in. And I would know when to turn left and when to turn right, and boom, something somehow would direct me on that path straight to St. Mary of the Angels, because I'm telling you, we took that same route like 1,000,000 times. And there's this one part of the route, you turn left at the stop sign, you cross this church, and in between the church and this kind of neighborhood road, there was this little pond. It's not very big. You could stand on one edge of the pond and you could look, and you could see all the way around it. But it just kind of looked like a fun pond to spend a couple hours on a Saturday morning. My dad had scoped it out, and he said, well, that's where we're going to go. And so we were all set, and we took our stuff out there in the car. And I remember that it was cold. I mean cold. This is one of those, but we live in Central Florida colds. And it was super early in the morning. It is dark, dark, dark. It is cold, cold, cold. And I am wearing a puffy jacket. Now, this is very 80s. But back in the day, we had these puffy jackets. It was a Miami Dolphins jacket. I remember it precisely. It was kind of that aqua color on the outside, and then on the inside, the lining itself was orange. Why do I remember details like this? I will tell you. We get out there and pull the John boat out, and my dad is, he's kind of getting the last few things together and taking it out of the car and putting stuff together. And I am standing there on the bank of this little pond, very dark, very cold, wearing my puffy jacket, and I don't know what I'm thinking, maybe nothing at all. Maybe I'm pretending I'm some world-renowned angler and I am surveying the scene and formulating some plan how we're going to catch the fish. I don't know what I'm doing, because that part I don't remember. But there, at the edge of the lake, and the grass and the reeds and the lily pads, and I'm walking around, and in an instant, all I see is darkness. There is nothing but muddy water straight down on me. It's dark, and it's cold. And puffy jackets really do keep you warm. But you know what they do even better than that? They soak up water. And I was in over my head in an instant. There was no bank down into this little pond. There was this drop-off to a surprising depth. And what I had been walking on, though it looked like the grass and the reeds and the lily pads everywhere else on the bank, there was nothing underneath it. Nothing but that dark, freezing cold, muddy water, and in a flash, just like that, I was down in the depths. The shock of that freezing cold water with the darkness that had just sort of swallowed me whole. And I don't know how long I was down there. Hours. Days. It was probably a fraction of a second. And out of nowhere, I'm lifted straight up out and landed on the bank. My dad reached down, he saw what happened, and I had been there 1 second, and the next second I was just gone. And he lifted me straight up, straight out, and tossed me there on the bank where I'm just kind of a wet, shivering, quivering mess. We didn't fish that day. I remember him taking me home, and I was taking clothes off. I'm not sure if I took everything off or not. I definitely took off the puffy jacket. I remember thinking that my dad was mad at me. That I ruined fishing for the day or something like that. Being a dad, I now know he was scared. He saw his son disappear. In a flash, in an instant. And maybe I was careless, maybe I wasn't paying attention, maybe I just didn't know any better, maybe it's just one of those things. But I think my dad might have saved my life there. I'm not sure how I could have gotten back up without it. I mean, just the shock of it. And the fact that in an instant the water was over my head. And now all this weight of water that my clothes had absorbed, and even still. Think about it just on instinct, out of love. He reaches down and pulls me up. He saves me. He lifted me out of the desolate pit, out of the mire into play. He set my feet upon a high cliff and made my footing sure. He put a new song in my mouth, a song of praise to our God. And many shall see and stand in awe and put their trust in the Lord. And he probably saved me that day, my dad. Years later, same sort of thing happened, except this time with one of my own sons. Very, very small at the time, over at my parents' house, over by the pool, near the deep end. This one particular son, completely fearless. Now, we had started swimming lessons when our kids were, just super, super tiny. But this kid had zero fear. And even worse than that, loved the water. As a matter of fact, whenever he went into the water, he went in like this. One second he was there. The next second he had stepped off and whoosh, straight down to the deep end. Now, when you keep your mouth wide open and you go underwater, bad things happen. And out of instinct, out of love, reach down, pull him straight up and straight out. Bam. Pretty sure I saved his life. And you may or may not have a story that sounds quite so dramatic or quite so silly. But I have a feeling you do have a story that you could point to and say, and I was rescued, and I was helped, and I was saved. I was in danger and I was protected, or it was this close from disaster, and somehow I was taken out of it. I was right there on the edge, but was pulled away at just the last second. Whatever it might be, whether the details are completely different, the circumstances are uniquely yours, but some moment, some occasion, some time, and some story that means something within your life that can be told, that can be pointed to, and that you know, and other people can see. And I was rescued. I was saved. And I'm alive. Now when it happened, it was very scary and everything else, but pretty soon thereafter, it was very funny. And I can tell this story now, because it's a funny story. We would pass by that church next to the neighborhood with a little pond in it all the time. And again, it was right on the route we took to church and other places. And for years after the fact, every time we did, whenever I was riding with my dad, sometimes he would look at me, but most of the time he wouldn't even bother to look. Just very quietly under his breath, he would say, "Whoosh." We'd all start laughing. And to this day, I am convinced I could be in Orlando and be driving with my mother and my sister, pass by that one leg, turn to them and say out of nowhere, "Whoosh," and they would know exactly what I was talking about. And that became the whoosh leg for us. And that became part of our family story. Part of my story is too. For he lifted me out of the desolate pit, out of the mire and clay. He set my feet high upon the cliff and made my footing sure. Put a new song in my mouth, a song of praise to our God. Many shall see and stand in awe and put their trust in the Lord. Episcopalians as a whole are not known as evangelists. It's just one of those things. That doesn't tend to be our strong suit. But I'm telling you now, effective evangelism is not about the technique or the program. It does not require an advanced degree in either apologetics or theology. You don't have to have this limitless depth of scriptural knowledge or argue someone into the kingdom by these convincing proofs. What you can do, any of us, is tell a story. It might be like mine. And yours might be very, very different. But my guess is you have one. That it it was like miry clay, that I was stuck, or it was dangerous, that I couldn't get out of, or I was in over my head. And maybe I was doing something stupid, or maybe I was doing something mean, or maybe it was all my own darn fault, or maybe it was just an accident, or I wasn't paying attention, but there I was. And my Heavenly Father reached down and pulled me up. He rescued me, saved me. That's evangelism. Argue someone into a saving faith in Christ. Just tell them a story. Tell them what happened. John the Baptist sees Jesus coming. As people are around, he says, "Look, look, look, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world." It says John testifies that he was just there at this baptism. There was the voice of God the Father thundering from above, and the dove like the Holy Spirit, and this is who this man is. He is the Messiah. My whole life has been in preparation of pointing people to him. There he is. People who had been following John, John sends them to Jesus, and Jesus simply says, "Come and see." You want to know? Come see. There is no theological proof that is being given. No complicated system of apologetics or scriptural support that those first disciples hear from Jesus. He simply says, just come and see. Come take a look. Come and follow, then you'll know. Some things simply cannot be described. They must be experienced. And that experience means so much that the very first one, he says, "Man, I got to go get my brother for this." And off Andrew goes, "Hey, I found this. Come and see." And that's evangelism. Maybe, hopefully, not so scary in those terms. Maybe, hopefully, not so intimidating or awkward or foreign or strange in those terms. Our job, like John the Baptist, is to simply point to him. Our story. My guess is you do too. Some of them are funny, and some of them are sad, and some of them are poignant, and some of them, well, you know your own, I think. But you have a chance to tell it, to testify, and to witness. It was like miry clay. It was like falling into the pond and having that dark, freezing water deep over my head. It was like whatever it was like for you. And my Heavenly Father reached down and he pulled me up. And I did not die, but I lived. Because he rescued me. And he saved me. And if you want to know more, come and see. That's it. That's it. It's not about complicated programs or schemes or technical things that we work out or even necessarily getting butts in pews, but to simply tell your story, like mine or different, that points past us into Jesus. It is too small a thing, Isaiah prophesies, for just Israel to be saved. But he who is to come will be a light to the entire world and will unite Jew and Gentile alike. That is the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. That is the one who has come as Lord, as priest, and as sacrifice, like the gifts of the Magi proclaim. That is the one in whom the Father is well pleased, and the Holy Spirit himself testifies to his identity. And that is the one maybe directly, with ways that are amazing and miraculous, or maybe indirectly, through the life and care of someone else who has rescued and saved you. And you have that story. But now it's up to you to tell it. So speak those words. And point to Him. If people have questions, just come and see. Come and meet Jesus and decide for yourselves. For great things are they that He has done. He is the Lord our God. His wonders and His plans are so great they are beyond our imaginations. There is none who can be compared to Him. Oh, that I could make them known and tell them. But they are more than I can count. So don't try to tell them all. How about just one? For you have been saved. Tell your story and point them to Jesus.